I'm Kevin across America. Here's a video with 25 tips to help you plan your next visit to the island of Puerto Rico.
Number 25. Puerto Rico is a rectangle-shaped island that at its widest point is 110 miles from east to west and 40 miles from north to south. It's a touch smaller than Connecticut in both landmass and population. Number 24. In 1493, Christopher Columbus landed on Puerto Rican shores. The Taino Indians already called the island home. Around 90% of them died within just a few decades of Columbus's arrival due to violence and disease. Columbus named San Juan in honor of St. John the Baptist. In English, Puerto Rico means rich port, a name that still holds true today. Number 23. In 1898, Spain handed Puerto Rico over to the United States during a peace treaty that ended the Spanish-American War. Spain also gave the U.S. the Philippines and Guam during that same transaction. Number 22. As of today, Puerto Rico is a U.S. Commonwealth. As such, Puerto Ricans are U.S. citizens, but cannot vote during presidential elections. The island has its own governor and legislative branch and pays its own taxes, kind of like any of the 50 states. Number 21. Puerto Rico is the third largest island in the U.S., after the Big Island of Hawaii and Alaska's Kodiak Island. Number 20. The island is broken up into 78 municipalities, basically like counties. Each municipality varies in size, population, politics, and wealth. Number 19. Puerto Rico is in a tropical climate zone with hot summers and warm winters. The average annual temp is around 80 degrees Fahrenheit. The northern side of the island, which includes San Juan, is generally a bit cooler and wetter than the south side, which has cactuses.
It's hot.
The island's rainy season runs from April through November, but really picks up in August during hurricane season. Try to pack a raincoat and an umbrella.
I'm pretty soaked right now. I've got my Sony camera under my shirt and I am trying to get some kind of cover underneath the tree. Hopefully this storm will be short-lived. At least there's no lightning.
Number 18. The coqui frog is a big part of Puerto Rican culture, almost like its version of the bald eagle. The frog gets its name from the distinct sound it makes. A high-pitched, chirping coqui. The frogs are only about an inch in length, but scientists have recorded male calls of over 100 decibels. A Southwest flight attendant even played a coqui recording on the aircraft intercom after we touched down in San Juan. Number 17. Spanish is the dominant language in Puerto Rico, though many people on the island are fluent in English, and those that aren't often know basic English. Of course, packing a little bit of Spanish doesn't hurt, and it will certainly earn you some brownie points. Number 16. Most people fly in and out of the Luis Muñoz International Airport in San Juan, but there are smaller commercial airports in the southern city of Ponce and the northwestern city of Aguadilla. Flights, especially from Florida, where there is a very large Puerto Rican population, can be pretty affordable. My itinerary from Orlando to San Juan was around $225 round trip. Number 15. Puerto Ricans are quite talkative and proud of their island. I picked up so many restaurant and day trip ideas by chatting with people in passing. Number 14. Puerto Rican music and dance includes bamba, Latin jazz, hip-hop, electronica, and more. Ricky Martin, Daddy Yankee, and Bad Bunny all hail from the island. Number 13. Puerto Rico's legal drinking age is 18, not 21 like the mainland United States. Number 12. After being hospitalized in Chile for salmonella last year, I stuck with bottled water in Puerto Rico. However, the CDC and World Health Organization say the island's drinking water is generally safe, noting that it must meet the same standards as the mainland U.S. Number 11. If you plan to travel beyond San Juan, book a rental car, as public transportation outside of the capital city is virtually non-existent. My 19-day car rental with dollar cost around $665. That included an unlimited toll transponder, as many of the island highways cost money, and the violations are hefty. Number 10. Your rental car contract will most likely prohibit you from taking your rental on the ferry ride to the Puerto Rican islands of Culebra and Vieques. Instead, you'll have to park your rental at the ferry terminal in Ciba and then rent another vehicle once you get to Culebra or Vieques. Renting two cars simultaneously is expensive, but it's very helpful to get around, especially on Vieques. Number 9. On the topic of driving, and in my very humble opinion, Puerto Ricans can be a bit aggressive behind the wheel. Making matters worse, some of the roads are peppered with potholes and speed bumps that lack proper warning. Driving in the central mountainous region of the island adds its own challenges, with narrow lanes that twist and turn, plus spotty to non-existent cell phone service. Number 8. At first glance, gas might look cheap in Puerto Rico. However, it's measured in liters, not gallons. There are around 3.8 liters per gallon. In other words, gas was around $3.40 a gallon during my visit in April of 2023. Number 7. If you're an animal lover, be prepared to see lots of stray cats and dogs roaming the streets. You'll also see chickens and horses around the island, including in the city of San Juan. Number 6. Many parts of the island look like a tropical jungle. However, the island has very few wild animals that attack humans. No big cats or bears, only one type of poisonous snake, and a very small section on the northern coast with caimans, which look like small crocodiles. Tourists should be much more concerned with rip currents, especially around San Juan. Number 5. I had zero safety issues while traveling across Puerto Rico, with expensive camera gear nonetheless. In fact, I don't recall one person even pestering me for money. I did make sure my rental car had a trunk, which came in handy in between Airbnbs, as you should not leave valuables visible in your car. Number 4. U.S. citizens do not need a passport to enter or exit Puerto Rico. And as of April 2023, COVID vaccination cards were not required either. Number 3. My regular Verizon cell phone plan covered Puerto Rico, and at no extra charge. The same was true with my Geico auto insurance, which covered any potential damage to my rental cars.
No one hears lonely sigh. I know blankets where he lies. Deepest dreams the gypsy flies to sweet Melissa.
Number 2. Puerto Rican food is delicious. From mofongo to the pork highway in Cayey to fresh-caught seafood and smoked barbecue, I honestly did not have one bad meal on the island. The cocktails are also pretty great. In fact, a hotel bartender in San Juan invented the piña colada during the 1950s. I made sure to order a bunch of those, strictly for video research purposes, of course. And number 1, Puerto Rico might look small, but there is a lot to explore on the island. One tour guide I spoke with said a full month is necessary to see it all. At the very least, try to take a few day trips from San Juan to spots like El Yunque National Forest, the island's west coast between Rincon and Isabela, and the Pork Highway in Cayey. You will not be disappointed.
So there you have it, 25 tips in hopes that your next visit to Puerto Rico goes as smooth as possible. I'd love if you leave a comment below. I'll try to respond to as many as I can. And also, I'd really appreciate you subscribing to my channel. I'm Kevin, across America.